It was a normal day on Earth. People were going to work. Children were in school. Cars moved slowly in traffic. The sky was clear, and everything felt peaceful. No one knew that this would be the last normal day. Then, without warning, the sky changed. At first, it was just a shadow. A dark shape appeared high above the clouds. People looked up, confused. Some thought it was a plane. Others took out their phones to record. But the shape did not move like any plane. It stayed still. Then more shapes appeared. One, then three, then dozens. Huge objects slowly revealed themselves from behind the clouds. They were massive. Larger than cities. Their surfaces were dark, metallic, and silent. No sound came from them, but their presence felt heavy. The world stopped. Phones dropped. Cars slowed. People stared into the sky with fear growing in their eyes. "What are those?" someone whispered. No one had an answer. Within minutes, the news spread everywhere. Every screen showed the same thing: giant ships floating above major cities. New York. London. Tokyo. Islamabad. Every place on Earth. The same ships. The same silence. Governments tried to speak, but signals started to break. Satellites went offline one by one. Internet connections became weak. Panic began to spread like fire. Then, suddenly, a message came. Every screen turned black. Phones, TVs, billboards, even car displays. A single line of text appeared. "Surrender your world, or be erased." The message was simple. Cold. Direct. Final. No one knew who sent it. But everyone understood. They were not alone anymore. And they were not safe. In hidden places far beyond Earth, the Galactic Council watched. They had seen many worlds rise and fall. They had seen wars, destruction, and extinction. To them, Earth was just another small planet. Not advanced. Not important. Some members of the council wanted to help. Others did not. "Humans are too weak," one of them said. "They will not survive this," another added. So they made a decision. They would only watch. Back on Earth, fear turned into chaos. People ran through the streets. Some tried to hide. Others prayed. Military forces moved quickly, but even they did not understand what they were facing. Fighter jets were launched. Missiles were prepared. Orders were given. But before anything could happen, the ships moved. A low hum filled the air. Then, without warning, beams of light fell from the sky. Bright. Powerful. Deadly. Entire areas were hit in seconds. Buildings collapsed. Fire spread. Smoke rose into the sky. The ground shook like an earthquake. The invasion had begun. People screamed. Sirens filled the air. Cities turned into war zones in minutes. The aliens did not send soldiers first. They sent destruction. It was fast. It was precise. It was unstoppable. Or at least, that's what they believed. In command centers around the world, leaders watched the attacks in silence. The situation looked hopeless. No defense seemed strong enough. But something strange started to happen. Human forces did not panic completely. Yes, there was fear. Yes, there was loss. But there was also control. Some military units pulled back instead of fighting. Some bases went completely silent. Certain locations were abandoned without explanation. It did not look like defeat. It looked planned. Deep underground, far from the chaos above, hidden doors opened. Lights turned on in places the public did not know existed. Old systems came back to life. Machines powered up. And people, calm, trained, and ready, took their positions. They had been waiting. For years. Back in space, the alien fleet continued its attack. They saw no real resistance yet. To them, Earth was already falling. The Galactic Council watched quietly. "This will be over soon," one member said. But another one was not so sure. "There is something strange about this world," they said slowly. "They are not reacting like others." On Earth, the fires burned. The skies stayed dark under the shadow of the ships. Fear filled every corner of the planet. But hidden beneath the surface, something was waking up. Something the aliens did not expect. Something the Council did not understand. Humanity was not finished. Not even close. And the war they thought would end quickly was only just beginning. The fires on Earth did not stop. Cities burned. Smoke covered the sky. The alien ships stayed above, cold and silent, watching their work. To them, this was already victory. But deep below the surface, a different story was unfolding. Hidden bases across the world came alive. Doors that had never been opened before slowly moved. Lights turned on in long underground tunnels. Screens flickered. Old machines started again with a low hum. Men and women in dark uniforms walked quickly but calmly. No panic. No fear on their faces. They had trained for this. For years, they had waited for a moment no one believed would come. Now it was here. In one of these secret bases, a large room filled with screens showed the destruction above. A commander stood still, watching carefully. He did not speak for a long time. Then he said one simple line. "Phase 1 is complete." Around him, officers nodded. They understood. The world thought everything was falling apart. But this was only the beginning. Above ground, the alien fleet continued its attack. They sent smaller ships down now. Fast, sharp, and deadly. These ships moved through the air like hunters. They expected no resistance. But something strange started happening. In some areas, they found nothing. Empty cities. Silent streets. No targets. It was as if people had already left. In other areas, human forces appeared for a short time, then disappeared again. Quick strikes. Then gone. The aliens grew confused. "This is not normal," one of their commanders said. "Why are they not fighting properly?" They did not understand. Humans were not trying to win yet. They were watching. Learning. Waiting. Far away, the Galactic Council observed everything. "They are weak," one member said again. "They run and hide." But another member leaned forward, looking closer. "No," they said slowly. "They are not running. They are choosing their battles." That made the others silent. Back on Earth, something else was happening. In the oceans, deep below the waves, massive shapes began to move. Hidden fleets, unknown to the public, powered up. Silent submarines and advanced carriers moved into position. In the sky, secret satellites came online. Ones the aliens had missed. Signals passed between them. Data was collected. Enemy movements tracked. Every attack was studied. Every weakness recorded. The aliens still believed they controlled the situation. They were wrong. In another hidden base, a young officer looked at the screen with worry. "We are losing too much," he said. The commander beside him stayed calm. "Yes," he replied. "But we are learning faster than they think." The officer did not fully understand. But he trusted the plan. Because there was always a plan. Above, the alien forces prepared for something bigger. They had expected fear. They had expected surrender. Instead, they found silence. That made them uneasy. So they made a decision. They would end this quickly. A large part of their fleet began to gather. Ships moved into position above key locations. Energy built up inside their weapons. They were preparing a massive strike. One attack to finish everything. Back underground, human systems detected the change immediately. Alarms did not sound loudly. Instead, quiet signals moved through the bases. Officers looked at their screens. Numbers changed. Maps updated. Then the commander gave a new order. Phase 2, ready. Around the world, hidden units moved into place. Weapon systems powered up, but still stayed hidden. Fighters waited in silence. Missiles stayed underground. Everything was ready. But no one moved yet. Not until the right moment. High above Earth, the alien fleet reached full power. Their weapons glowed with dangerous light. They believed this would be the end of the war. The final strike. The final victory. Even the Galactic Council watched closely now. "This is it," one of them said. "Yes," another replied. "Now we will see the end of humanity." But one member did not agree. They watched Earth carefully. Too carefully. "There is still something they are hiding," they whispered. "And we are about to see it." On the ground, the world held its breath. The sky was filled with enemy ships. The air was heavy. Everything was quiet for one long moment. Then, the alien fleet fired. A storm of energy fell toward Earth. Bright. Powerful. Impossible to stop. Or so they thought. Because this time, humanity was ready. The sky burned white. A storm of alien fire rushed toward Earth. It moved fast, too fast for normal defense. Buildings, roads, and entire regions were about to disappear in seconds. For a brief moment, it looked like the end. Then something unexpected happened. The light from above suddenly bent. Not away, but around something invisible. A faint shimmer spread across the sky, like a thin glass wall no one had seen before. The alien energy hit it, and broke apart into thousands of glowing pieces. The ground did not explode. The cities did not vanish. The attack failed. Across the world, people looked up in shock. The sky was still glowing, but the destruction had stopped. Above them, the alien ships paused. They had never seen this before. "What is that?" one alien commander demanded. No one answered. Because they did not know. Far below, in hidden control rooms, human operators worked quickly but calmly. Hands moved across panels. Eyes stayed fixed on data. "Shield network holding," one voice reported. "Energy levels stable. Impact absorbed." The commander gave a small nod. "Good," he said. "Now we begin." In the sky, the shimmer faded just enough to disappear again. It had done its job. The aliens tried to scan the area, but found nothing. No visible shield. No clear source. Only silence. That silence lasted just a few seconds. Then the sky changed again. From different parts of Earth, small points of light shot upward. Fast. Precise. Controlled. Missiles, but not like anything seen before. They moved together, adjusting their paths in perfect coordination. No wasted motion. No confusion. The alien ships reacted late. Too late. The first wave hit. Explosions spread across the lower fleet. Not massive blasts, but clean, sharp strikes. Engines failed. Systems shut down. Ships lost control. One by one, several alien crafts went dark. They did not fall. They simply stopped moving. Floating like dead metal in the sky. Inside the alien command ship, alarms started to sound. "This is impossible," one officer said. "They should not have this level of technology." The commander stared at the screen, silent for a moment. Then he spoke slowly. "They were hiding it." Back on Earth, more launches followed. From mountains. From oceans. From places no one knew existed. Each attack was careful. Each strike had a purpose. Humanity was not trying to destroy everything at once. They were testing. Measuring. Learning how the enemy reacted. High above, the alien fleet tried to regain control. They spread out. Changed positions. Activated stronger defenses. But now they were unsure. This was not the easy conquest they had expected. Far away, the Galactic Council leaned forward. No one spoke. They watched the battle closely, seeing something they had not seen in a long time. Resistance. Real resistance. "They survived the strike," one member said quietly. "And they answered it," another added. But one of them focused on something deeper. "Look at their pattern," they said. "They are not attacking randomly. They are studying the enemy." That made the room go silent again. Because that meant only one thing. Humans were not just fighting. They were thinking ahead. Back in the sky, the alien fleet prepared a counterattack. This time, faster. More aggressive. They targeted the sources of the missile launches. But when they fired, those locations were already empty. Nothing was there. No targets. Only dust and silence. "They are moving too fast," an alien officer said. "No," the commander replied. "They are staying one step ahead." On Earth, human forces continued their careful strikes. Small wins. Controlled damage. No wasted effort. They were building something. A bigger plan. In one underground base, the young officer from before looked at the screen in amazement. "We stopped them," he said. The commander shook his head slightly. "No," he replied. "We surprised them." "That is not the same as winning." The officer nodded slowly. He understood now. This was only the beginning. Above them, the alien fleet was no longer calm. Their movements were sharper now. Less confident. They had come to conquer. But now, they were reacting. And that had never happened before. Far beyond, the Galactic Council finally spoke again. "This war is not over," one member said. "No," another replied quietly. "It has just changed." Back on Earth, the fires still burned. The skies were still dark. But something new had appeared. Hope. Not loud. Not clear. But real. Because for the first time since the invasion began, the enemy had felt something they did not expect. Doubt. And humanity was just getting started. The sky was no longer silent. After the first shock, everything changed. The alien fleet stopped acting like hunters. Now, they moved like something else. Something careful. Something unsure. For the first time, they were watching Earth, the same way Earth was watching them. That was a problem. Because humans were ready for that. Deep underground, the command rooms were calm. Screens showed every movement in the sky. Every ship. Every signal. Nothing was missed. "Enemy formation changing," one operator said. "They are spreading out." The commander nodded. "They are afraid of losing more ships at once." He paused, then gave a new order. "Good. That makes them weaker." Across the world, something new began. Not defense. Not small attacks. This time, it was coordinated. From oceans, mountains, deserts, and hidden bases, human forces moved together. Not randomly. Not separately. As one. In the sky, the alien fleet detected multiple signals at once. Too many. From too many directions. What are they doing? An alien officer asked. Before anyone could answer. It began. Human fighter craft burst out of hidden locations. Sleek, fast, and quiet. They moved in perfect lines, like they had practiced this many times. Because they had. Missiles followed behind them, but different this time. Smarter. Faster. They did not fly straight. They changed direction mid-air, confusing enemy tracking systems. Alien defenses activated immediately. Energy shields lit up across their ships. But the human attack did not stop. It adapted. Some missiles pulled away at the last second, forcing the shields to stay active. Others came from blind spots. Then the fighters moved in. Close range. Precise. Targeted. Engines. Weapons. Communication nodes. Not random damage. Critical damage. Alien ships started losing control again, but this time, faster. More of them. This is not possible, one alien commander said, his voice tense. They should not be able to coordinate at this level. But they were wrong. Humans had something the aliens did not expect. Unity. On Earth, countries that once disagreed now worked together without hesitation. Data was shared instantly. Plans were followed exactly. No confusion. No delay. Everyone had one goal. Survive. And win. Far away, the Galactic Council watched in silence. This is different, one member said slowly. They are not just resisting anymore. They are attacking as one system, another added. The oldest member in the room spoke quietly. This is what makes them dangerous. Back in orbit, the alien fleet tried to regain control. They grouped together again, forming stronger defensive lines. But that was another mistake. Human forces adjusted immediately. Switch patterns, the commander ordered. Within seconds, the attacks changed. Now they focused on the edges of the formation. Breaking it apart piece by piece. Not rushing. Not wasting effort. The alien ships began to separate again, forced to move, forced to react. And every time they moved, humans were already ready. In the middle of the chaos, something else appeared. A new kind of human ship. Larger. Heavier. Slow, but powerful. It rose from the clouds like a shadow. No one had seen it before. Even the alien fleet paused. "What is that?" one of them whispered. The ship did not answer. It simply aimed. And fired. A single shot. No loud explosion. No bright flash. Just a focused beam of energy. It hit one of the largest alien ships directly. For a second, nothing happened. Then the ship split apart. Clean. Silent. Gone. The battlefield froze. Even the humans watching paused for a moment. Then the commander spoke again. "Continue." The attack resumed immediately. But now, everything felt different. The aliens were no longer in control. They were trying to survive. Signals between their ships became faster. Less organized. Mistakes started to appear. Small at first. Then bigger. And humans noticed all of them. "They are losing coordination," an operator reported. The commander nodded. "Push them further." Across the sky, human forces increased pressure. Not wildly. Not emotionally. Carefully. Step by step. Every move had a purpose. Every strike had meaning. Far away, the Galactic Council could no longer stay calm. They are collapsing, one member said. The alien fleet is losing control. Another member looked at Earth with new respect. They underestimated them. The oldest member closed their eyes for a moment. No, they said quietly. They misunderstood them. Back on Earth, the young officer watched everything unfold. His hands were steady now. His voice calm. "We are winning," he said. The commander looked at the screen. Then shook his head. "Not yet," he replied. "This is still only the middle of the war." The officer frowned slightly. "Then what comes next?" The commander looked up at the sky. At the enemy still fighting. At the ship still standing. Then he gave one final order. "Prepare the final phase." Above them, the alien fleet struggled to hold its position. They had come to conquer Earth. Now, they were fighting just to stay alive. And they still did not understand one thing. Humanity had not shown everything yet. Not even close. The battle did not slow down. But something had changed. The alien fleet was no longer advancing. They were holding on. Trying to survive. Across the sky, broken ships drifted. Some still fought, others had gone silent. Their perfect formation was gone. In its place, confusion. And fear. For the first time, the invaders felt it. Deep inside their command ship, the alien leader stood still. His eyes fixed on the battlefield. "This world," he said slowly, "is not what we were told." No one answered. Because there was no answer. Back on Earth, everything moved with purpose. No wasted motion. No panic. Human forces were still attacking, but now, something bigger was building. Something final. In the underground command center, the room was quiet again. Not tense. Focused. The commander looked at the main screen. Data flowed in from every corner of the planet. Then he spoke. "All units, confirm readiness." One by one, voices answered. "Ready. Ready. Ready." From land. From sea. From sky. Everything was in position. The young officer stood beside him, watching closely. "This is it?" he asked quietly. The commander nodded once. "This is the response." Above Earth, the alien fleet suddenly detected something new. A signal. Strong. Clear. Impossible to ignore. It came from the planet itself. From everywhere. "What is that energy reading?" one alien officer asked. "It's global," another replied, confused. That was the moment everything changed. From deep within Earth, massive systems activated. Hidden power sources came online. Old technology, kept secret for decades, finally revealed itself. The planet itself was part of the weapon. In space, small points of light appeared again. But this time, there were thousands. Not missiles. Not fighters. Something else. They moved together in perfect silence. Forming patterns. Building something in the dark. The alien fleet tried to respond. Weapons charged. Targets locked. But their systems began to fail. Signals broke. Tracking systems went blind. "What is happening?" Panic spread through their command. Back on Earth, the commander gave the final command. "Execute." In that single moment. Everything moved. The lights in space connected. Lines of energy formed between them. A massive network surrounded the alien fleet. They were trapped. Before they could react. The system activated. No loud explosion. No chaos. Just a controlled wave of energy. Clean. Precise. Final. It passed through the alien ships like a silent storm. One by one. Their systems shut down. Weapons powered off. Engines died. Command signals disappeared. The fleet stopped moving. All of it. At once. The battlefield went quiet. Completely quiet. Above Earth, hundreds of alien ships now floated, lifeless. Not destroyed. Not burning. Just, defeated. Inside their command ship, the alien leader stared at the dark screens. No control. No power. No options. We, lost, he said softly. Far away, the Galactic Council watched in complete silence. No one moved. No one spoke. Because they had just seen something impossible. A young, underestimated world had stopped a full invasion fleet. Without outside help. Without warning. One of the council members finally spoke. We should have helped them. The oldest member shook their head slowly. No, they said. We should have understood them. Back on Earth, people slowly stepped out from hiding. The sky was still filled with ships. But now, they were no longer a threat. They were a reminder. The young officer looked up, unable to believe it. It's over, he said. The commander stood beside him. For a moment, he said nothing. Then he spoke quietly. No, he said. This is only the beginning. The officer looked at him, confused. The beginning of what? The commander's eyes remained on the sky. Of what comes next? Because across the galaxy, the message had already spread. Earth was not weak. Earth was not easy. Earth was rising. And this time, the galaxy was watching with fear.